Welcome to my next Better Call Saul Season 6 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important if you are caught up to the point where I am every watching or watching Better Call Saul, or you're just entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, everyone, I've already seen Better Call Saul all the way through one time. It's definitely one of my favorite shows of all time, but I also love Breaking Bad. That's even more of one of my favorite shows of all time. Definitely top 3 for me. So if you want to check out any of my Breaking Bad content, with about 20 seconds left to go in this video, I'll put links in the end screen. I'll put my Breaking Bad seasons ranked right there again with 20 seconds left to go. You can click on that and it'll give you that link to that particular video. And I'll put other Breaking Bad videos at the end of this video. So with all that said, this will be Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 7. The title of this episode is called Plan and Execution. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So Lalo returns from his trip in Germany and emerges from a manhole in an industrial area of Albuquerque. After driving to a truck stop to take a shower, he takes a short nap in a station wagon. He then returns to the manhole. Navigating the sewer system, Lalo finds a storm drain inlet where he has set up a lawn chair using a lawn chair along with food and water. Using binoculars, he watches the location across the street, which is Gus Fring's famous laundromat with a meth lab at the bottom. Jimmy drives to Lenny, the actor who has been playing the role of Ran Casimiro, and offers him $400 and legal representation if he walks off his job at the supermarket and helps him for 90 minutes. Shortly afterward, he pulls Joey out of UNM film class. He is lecturing, taking him to a grassy part of the campus area where the makeup girl is tending to Lenny. Joey's sound technician arrives with photography equipment, while Kim arrives with her old sling intended for Lenny as Casimiro. Jimmy tells Kim that she can still make her luncheon in Santa Fe, but Kim insists this is where she wants to be. I think she regrets it after this episode. Jimmy coaches Lenny on the upgraded details of his role, while Kim gives direction as Joey shoots photos of Jimmy sitting on the bench, handing an envelope to Lenny as Casimiro. After Joey develops the photos in a dark room, Jimmy and Kim apply drops of mild drug supplied by Caldera to the photos. Jimmy runs to a street where Howard's private investigator, now revealed to be on Jimmy's payroll, receives the envelope containing the photos and speeds away. Howard Hamlin is preparing the conference room for the upcoming mediation session and in the Sandpiper case. An intern named Carrie walks in and, startled, drops canned drinks on the floor. Howard shows Carrie a trick he learned from Chuck that would relieve the pressure inside the cans that would otherwise cause them to spray, stating how Chuck made it a practice to always prepare for anything. So he's like turning the can around on the table to apparently stop it from spraying all over. I don't know if that's actually something that does happen if you do that, but anyway, Howard's secretary Julie informs him that the private investigator Janikowski is waiting in his office. Janikowski presents the photos showing Jimmy handing an envelope to the man with a mustache, whom Howard does not recognize. Howard notices the wetness on the photos, but accepts the explanation that it's from a hasty photo development. Looking at the photos, Howard notices that Jimmy's holding the same distinctive envelope as when he had been earlier photographed leaving a bank. Concluding that it contained cash, he directs Janikowski to track down the man's car. Howard, Julie, and Cliff meet with Irene, the class representative in the Sandpiper case. Irene expresses relief that the lawsuit will soon be over, but Howard and Cliff advise her that the case is likely to continue for at least a year or more. And then the drug starts to take an effect on Howard as he begins to feel hot while he pushes the wheelchair-bound Irene into the conference room. There, Aaron acts as a Like the receptionist for the clients participating in the mediation remotely via conference call. Unbeknownst to her, Jimmy and Kim are listening in on the meeting, though through a burner phone in Jimmy's office. The last person to enter the conference is the mediator, the real Ran Casimiro, whom Howard instantly recognizes from the photos. Before Casimiro can open the proceedings on insist, Howard grills him about his whereabouts that morning and asks Julie to retrieve the photos from his office. However, he discovers that the photos now show Jimmy innocently handing a frisbee to a jogger, the sound technician, in disguise. Howard becomes agitated and his pupils dilate, unnerving everyone. Cliff calls a recess and walks him out of the room. In the hallway, Cliff apologizes to Casimiro and is told by Sandpiper Crossing's counsel, Rick Schweikert, that he is going back to his original settlement offer and that it will be reduced by $1 million each day until accepted. Howard has discovered that Janikowski's phone number has been disconnected, surmising that it was Jimmy's plan. When Cliff comes to confront him, he insists that Jimmy targeted him in order to deliberately torpedo the mediation and thus force an expedited settlement. Cliff explains that it doesn't matter whether these claims can be proven because the damage cannot be undone, telling Howard that he will recommend to the class action lawsuit participants to take Schweikert's offer. As Cliff announces the settlement agreement through the conference call, Jimmy and Kim have sex on Jimmy's office couch. In the storm drain, Lalo records a message on a handheld video camera for Don Eladio, telling him what he learned from a little Croatian bird. Gus has built a secret mother of all meth labs beneath the laundry facility. He then tries to call Hector Salamanca at Casa Tranquila nursing home. However, he hears clicking sounds in the on-hold music and realizes that Gus has the line bugged. After taking out his anger on his lawn chair, he calls the nursing home again. He tells Hector that he couldn't find proof against Gus and will resort to Plan A, which entails striking him that night. Hector continuously rings his bell, indicating his disagreement with his plan. Ending the call, Lalo sees a black SUV arrive at the laundry, picking up Mike and a group of men. Glancing at a cockroach crawling in the sewer, a thought occurs to Lalo. He walks away from his perch in the storm drain. Gus is engaging in a photo op, presenting a ceremonial check to a local youth program. When he sees Mike standing across the room, Mike takes him aside and plays him a taped recording of Lalo Salamanca's call to Hector Salamanca. He tells him that they cannot rule out that Lalo will attack Gus then and there, regardless of the civilians and the children, and advises them that they immediately return to Gus's heavily guarded home. Mike plans to pull all available men from the low-priority surveillance duties around the city in order to cover Gus Ring, while a team led by Tyrus continue to guard the laundromat. He assures Gus that the trap is set and once all hands are on deck at his house, Lalo will go down if he so much as shows up. Gus nods in agreement. That night at their apartment, Jimmy and Kim are watching the film Born Yesterday when a disheveled Howard pays an unannounced visit. He presents them a bottle of Scotch whiskey to mockingly celebrate their victory, calling them out for ruining his reputation for fun. Neither Kim nor Jimmy admit their guilt. Howard continues his rant, expressing disappointment towards Kim and Jimmy, but unbeknownst to all three of them, Lalo Salamanca sneaks into the room, with Jimmy and Kim being the first to notice as the candle flickers. Once Howard notices him, he gets to questioning who he is, to which Lalo cryptically says that he's nobody and just needs to talk to his lawyers. Kim tearfully implores Howard to leave immediately, but he is initially oblivious to the situation until Lalo pulls out a pistol and begins putting his silencer onto it. Howard, thinking Kim and Jimmy's lives are in danger, attempts to talk Lalo out of doing anything, but while he's in the middle of speaking, Lalo points his gun at Howard Hamlin and shoots him in the head. So that's what happens to Howard Hamlin. Howard collapses and hits his head on the table, dead. Kim and Jimmy both react with panic and shock, which is when Lalo shushes them both and tells them, okay, let's talk. Ending the episode. Wow. This was a really good episode. It's one of my favorite episodes of the series of Better Call Saul. I have to give this a 10 out of 10. And the character of the episode, Howard Hamlin and Lalo Salamanca, both did really well in this episode. What a Jimmy and Kim's plan made Howard Hamlin die. Their blood, or his blood, is on their hands. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, or El Camino, Breaking Bad movie, and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share this video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Better Call Saul. What would you rate it? I hope a 10. Whom would be your character or characters of the episode? Obviously, Jimmy's the character of most all the episodes, but aside from Jimmy is who I usually pick. So leave all your comments in the comment section. And then last, but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel as I want to reach 100,000 subscribers. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.